Hi, I'm Julia Arrendell,
And I'm Anna Lopez.
and this is Healthcare Real Talk.
On today's episode on Healthcare Real Talk, we're going to be discussing ACA and ALF compliance. ACA stands for the Agency for Healthcare Administration. And also many times we see the biggest issue in compliance. Right, Julia?
Absolutely. And also, we want our viewers to know that ACA is only located in the state of Florida.
Yes, that is actually very true.
Well, you know what? We crack ourselves up. Anna and I have such an awesome history. We love doing this so much that sometimes we have to help each other in discussions. Just like your team and your staff members have to help you to maintain compliance, which is the reason why we're talking today, isn't it?
Absolutely. And why does compliance feel harder in 2025?
Because in 2024, it wasn't as hard as it is now in 2025. There have been so many compliance measures that have come into play since COVID. You remember those things that we had to discuss to a lot of our clients? We had to help them, help the staff, just to make sure that they maintained their license.
Especially during COVID.
Oh, yes, especially during COVID.
That was a nightmare.
It was. And that's why we're going to talk about these topics today. We're going to talk about the surveying process, documentation. We're going to deep dive into that, real facility challenges, top tiers of triggers, and so forth and so on.
All right. So what are some of the big issues that the agency is looking for when they come to the facilities?
Well, one of the main things, Anna, is always medication. They always focus on the medication because it is the most important thing. Remember, medication is life or death.
Right.
You know? And when you think about it, it's the one area, sorry to say, folks out there, but sometimes it's the person who's handling it is the least competent in the area that they're providing the service. I know it seems funny, but it's true. Or else, why would they be getting so many deficiencies?
No, trust me, I know. I've been there with you.
Yeah, we've seen it. Do it over again. Do it over again. So, if the agency literally wanted to be noticed for anything, it's always going to be the medication. That's the number one area that will always be surveyed the most intense,
right,
and always with a great critical eye. So we want to make sure that you understand the importance of that, and the hiring of your staff, it relates to that.
Right, for sure. And a lot of times when you're documenting, or the person that's documenting for the medication does not document correctly, and because everything is consistently changing, the agency is looking for those changes to see if you actually are staying up to par with the state rules and regulations.
Right.
And 99.9% of facilities are not.
One of the key components is having the Medicaid waiver letter. And what that letter does, it exempts the staff from having to read every single medication each time to the resident, which is something that most facilities do not have. But definitely, if you want that, we can assist you with something like that.
I mean, well, that's why we're here. Arrendell Consulting Firm gets you through all of these processes in a very seamless way, because we do stay on top of all the rules and regulations that are consistently changing within the agency, right? Still, and then another key component are employee files.
Yes, that's another area, because when they come out, for some reason, one of the staff members, they don't have their level 2 background.
Oh my God, that happens all the time.
All the time. It either expired, or this is the number one. I had to hire her. I had to hire her because I needed someone in an emergency. No background.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And that's the agency, one of their pet peeves is looking for the level 2 background, because it is for the resident safety.
Right.
They need to make sure that the person is actually in good standing, right? And
absolutely.
And that is so common across the board for us. When we go to the facilities to do mock inspections, which is something that Arrendell Consulting Firm does for their clients or our clients, we go through the employee files. 9 out of 10 times, the level 2 background not there or expired.
Well, I have one even better for you. Yesterday, one of our clients, who we won't mention, this one is in the city of Miami Gardens, he called yesterday and asked for the background attestation. So having the level 2 background is just not enough. You also need the attestation along with it. And, this has been a compliance requirement for years, and still to this day, individuals still do not have it in the employee file. So the employee files are extremely significant in the compliance.
Not only that, but a lot of their CEUs are not up to par
Absolutely.
which is supposed to be part of the employee file. So when
Absolutely.
the agency comes out and they say, hey, you know what, let me look at this person's file, and you open it, you have a level 2 background that's expired,
Right.
you don't have the CEUs that are up to date,
Right.
you don't have the right credentialing, and guess what, now deficiency number 1. You know,
or number 2.
yeah. And you know,
Yeah.
and those deficiencies can add up.
Yes, they
right?
do.
And
Yes, they do.
That is not what you want. Next thing you know, you have a 6-bed facility, you're walking out of there with a $15,000 tab.
Right.
That's not what you want.
Not what you want at all. And not also that, you see, a lot of people don't understand that the compliance of your staffing files as well as your resident files, it ties into incidents.
Right.
And someone may say, well, how does that tie into an incident? Well, if there's an incident and one of the staff members who assist the resident during the incident, and that person should not even be working,
or it doesn't have the level 2 background.
Exactly. Now you've got a major problem. So this is why it's critical for the staff as well as the residents' documents to be up to date, always in the file. Because when there's an incident, you want to make sure that the person who's on duty should be the one rendering the services.
Right. And
you know, and that their file is correct.
To add to that point, incident reporting is a very big deal for the Agency for Healthcare Administration. And if something happens in your facility and the administrator or you as the owner / administrator are not writing these reports every single time something happens, when the agency comes and they don't see those reports or they were not reported to the agency, now you have a huge problem. I'm going to give you a great scenario. And not great because this was actually really sad. But we went to a facility and we were doing an inspection, a mock inspection, and this individual had an incident at the property where one of the residents was sitting outside and they sat outside for too long. They had a heat stroke and they passed away, right? And this happens. These are real life situations that happen.
Yeah.
Passed away. They didn't report it to the agency. They didn't have any of the reports or notes in their file, and the agency found out and they shut them down. They had a moratorium, right? So a moratorium is not what you want for your facility because they don't let you operate, right? You want to touch on that?
Yeah, they won't let you continue operation. Well, it's not that they won't let you continue operation. You can continue operation. However, the operator will not be able to admit any new residents. And you will have to follow strict guidelines and stipulations that give you just limited operational management. And you're under complete surveillance by the agency. So you don't want these things happening because it stagnates your business, it stagnates the income, it stagnates the entire flow of the community. So you want to be able to manage these things effectively. And the one way to do it is to stay in compliance. Read your Florida Statutes 429, Part 1. Go over them. All too often, many administrators, what they do, they have a tendency to say, well, you know what? I've been in business for 20 years. Well, guess what? That does not exempt you from having reviews thoroughly. I definitely recommend every single administrator out there to either take the 26-hour core training over. You don't have to take the exam, and also maybe have your staff take the training as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still some other key points that we can touch on, you know, which is like facility environment, right? It's extremely important to make sure that the environment where these residents are living in is clean, it's nice, it has a good ambiance, and you'd be surprised how many times Julia and I walk into a facility and I want to run out. You know?
Right.
I don't even want to be there.
Wait, and you did run out.
Okay,
Oh my.
I did.
Yeah, she did run out. She says, I can't stay here.
I cannot.
And I understood the reason why, you know, she couldn't stay. Well, as a matter of fact, that facility was the one where the ombudsman came into the facility and actually cited them as well. Well, she didn't cite them, but she reported them to the agency.
Right, and that happens because guess what? The facility's environment was not up to par with what the agency expects.
Right.
And you are taking care of people and seniors or non-seniors, and this should be like a home-like environment.
It is. It should be, absolutely.
And they don't have it like that sometimes, you know? And I was just, I couldn't handle it, that's for sure. Because you need to make sure that you're on point with these things. For example, like the temperature, the agency looks at the temperature of the facility to make sure it's not freezing or it's not super hot. They look at all of the safety to see if they have, you know, watch your step on the floor,
Right.
to make sure they have all the numbers on the rooms, and make sure that everything is copacetic, right? And so many times Julia and I have had an issue with this, but because we're the best firm, right? The best consulting
But to
firm.
be honest with you, thank goodness we haven't had the issue, but they have. So we're here to help you clean
Right.
up your issue, because we don't want you to be in a situation where you're losing
Right.
money.
Right.
They have to understand, just like what Anna said, $10,000-$15,000 small bed facilities lose every single day because of non-compliance.
Absolutely. And lastly, to touch on the last point, emergency preparation, right?
Oh.
This is another huge deal for the agency.
Especially in the state of Florida.
Right, for sure. And if you're not doing your fire drills or your elopement drills, and the agency doesn't see any of these logs that should be happening almost every single week or bi-weekly, depending on how your policies and procedures are structured. But if you're not doing this and the agency catches on to it when they go in there and they ask you to let me see your drills, let me see your logs, now you have a deficiency.
Right. So let's try to avoid these things. Follow the regulations. Do your monthly logs. For example, for your elopement, it is required that you do it every 6 months. For your fire, it's usually required on a monthly basis. Do these things and keep them recorded at the facility.
And now we're going to be stepping into our compliance corner. And Julia is going to go ahead and give you a quick audit checklist that you can implement in your assisted living facility.
All right, so here's your checklist. Review employee credential files. Very important, because sometimes individuals can bring you things from other locations and they may not be credible. Reconcile your MOR. MOR stands for Medication Observation Record. And the reason why it's an observation record, because in an assisted living facility, you can only observe. You cannot administer medication. Confirm resident rights acknowledgments. Remember, residents have rights. Regardless of their age, they have rights. Regardless of everything, they have rights. Walk facility like a surveyor. It's your job to know your facility. It's not our job when we come in. Okay? Your fourth tip is the most important tip. Walk your facility every single day like you're a surveyor. As the administrator, when you walk in and you clock in, start to walk the facility just like the surveyors do. You know what they do. They check for your license. They make sure you have your bulletin board with all of your credible. Oh, wait, did I say credible?
No, I think you forgot to say it.
Okay, your credible, okay, forms. You know what they are. Your Department of Health,
Your fire and safety.
your liability insurance.
Your residents.
Yeah, well, we don't want to stick them on the bulletin board. Okay, but number 5, okay, on the checklist. Yes, but you should know where your residents are when you walk to the facility. Analyze incident patterns. Make sure that there are no rugs that are disheveled. They're taped securely down to the floor. These are things that you should be paying attention to.
I actually have a question for you.
Go for it.
So furthermore, you said that they're not allowed to administer the medication.
No, not in an assisted living facility.
So the administrator, anybody that works, the CNA, the HHA, they cannot administer.
Excellent question. No,
Why?
because they're not a nurse. No. Now, so let's go elaborate on that even more. An HHA, CNA, they're not a nurse. They are nursing aides. They call them caregivers, maybe nursing assistants, but not a nurse.
Okay, so it has to be a registered nurse that comes,
Or an LPN nurse.
okay, or an LPN
Right.
that comes in and administers the medication.
Absolutely. Did you hear that?
Okay, so that'd be another citation if the agency came and found that the administrator or the HHA or anybody for that matter is administering the medication.
Correct. So when you think that you have compliance under wraps, right? And then voila, something happens. Like the agency shows up, ding dong, ding dong. Uh-oh, there's ACA. They're at the door. Get the medication. You know that's what happens, right?
Oh yeah, everybody freaks out.
Every day freak out. But did we do the MOR book? It doesn't matter. It's too late. You know what? Because they're going to check it.
Yeah,
That's the first thing. Too late. Remember that when we were kids?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back. All right, getting back. So when that resident MOR chart is reviewed and there is absolutely no signature, guess what happens?
The agency gives you a deficiency.
Oh my God, ding, 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 ding. She is right. You're going to get a deficiency because having your signature as the person who assisted with the observation of the medication is extremely important because that signature indicates that the medication was given.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, I caught you.
Caught me off guard.
Yeah, I did. I caught off guard. We do this to each other at times. But it was given. So once that signature is not there, it means that the medication was not
Given.
right. See, she came back. It was not given. So we want to make sure that the signatures are always there, and the medication is accountable for with the signatures that are listed or initialed on the MOR. Okay.
And these are real life situations that happen. You know, we laugh about it because we deal with this all the time.
Right,
but
right.
this is not a laughing matter. Like when the agency comes, like she said, everybody freaks out, but because you are to be on point, and a lot of times you're not. These are horror blah blah
stories.
These are real life
horror stories,
right, that happen. So
Mhm.
I hope that you were able to take away some key points from this episode, because it is important for you to implement. And if you want any further information, you can contact us at
1-800-334-5751. Anna knows our number. She's great. Don't worry about it. Just a little moment there.
Right. Or you can visit us at our website at www.arrendells.com, and you can follow us on our social medias, all under Arrendell Consulting Firm. Social medias are Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, and LinkedIn. So
Awesome.
hope you follow us.
Take care.
Bye-bye
Remember,
now.
compliance.
Healthcare Real Talk.